Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Talk More. I'm your host, Matt Morrison. Joining with me from Orlando, Florida, is Noah Ricks, voice of a lot of teams, but most notably the Howland Tigers. So, Noah, thanks for coming in here today. How's Florida?
Oh, it's going well. I was in Fort Lauderdale about a few days ago. Had a good spring break. Got a little bit of a sunburn, but it's
Yeah.
healing up.
Yep, I've been in Lauderdale a couple of times. It's definitely a scene there. Now you're in Orlando, so you're just on the other side. Did you guys drive out there?
Yeah, we drove up. We took I-95 up
Yep.
to Orlando, working the NCAA basketball tournament, getting some good experience, and getting some good volunteering as well. Just a good experience. Get to see some good teams like Duke, Tennessee, and all those college basketball programs. Those college basketball bulks.
Sweet. That's just amazing right there. And like you just said, if you kind of gave it away, the NCAA tournament is about to be underway this week. So
hmm
that's an exciting opportunity right there. But we're gonna be on here. We're gonna talk about Howland a little bit. You called them this year. I had their coach on, Daniel Bubon, a couple weeks ago or so, right before they fell to Menor, and that what a amazing game that was. Were you at that game?
I wasn't, unfortunately, but considering that they played that great of a program
Yeah.
all the way down to the wire, only losing by
Yeah.
two, just really gives a huge testament to not just Coach Dan Bubon, but the whole Howland Tiger program as a whole. They were really eyeing that district championship again, and they did not disappoint this year. Of course, they had a little bit of a downslide with the six-game losing streak, but they were able to pick things up at the end of the season, and this is definitely things are great looking forward for Howland basketball.
Yes, most definitely. And unfortunately, we're out of that basketball season. But hey, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, baseball is just around the corner. I know you'll be doing Howland baseball and
Mhm.
softball. What are you looking forward to that?
Well, Howland baseball, I hope they can make a good run in the tournament. Last year, they fell short in the sectional final to
Yeah.
Chardon. It's interesting to see what kind of a batting rotation they'll be able to put in with a couple of seniors being lost to a graduation from
Mhm.
last year. But I think if they can get a couple wins under their belt, I think they'll be just fine. Now, for the softball team, I was only able to cover them about a couple times
Mhm.
last year, but they do got some good hitting on the way. I believe Alyssa Masucci is coming back, if I am
Oh
correct.
yeah.
Monster hitter for a junior for the Tigers, and just the good, well-rounded softball team. Unfortunately, falling short in their sectional tournament as well to Louisville. But I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
if they can get the right pieces in place, then I think they will be destined for a long run, at least going to districts.
That's a great plan right there for both teams. Coming back losing some seniors, but I've talked to a couple teams where they've lost some people to to graduation, but a lot of them are happy that the younger kids are coming up. The freshmen coming up, sophomores, even the juniors becoming seniors now. Definitely more mature, and they can just act as a mentor role to the younger class, and it moves in waves really. So you might get a down year once a year from a team that's usually top, like Calland or like Ursuline. But I mean, you don't get it a lot because you always have people there to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the coaching put in place. You got the exceptional talent that Howland produces year in and year out, and just the sports all around. And Howland, they definitely a good athletic program. They definitely have the talent to work with. And it's just all about the development, just putting things into play.
Yes, most definitely. And I know you called a lot Howland, but I know you called Champion as well, and then a couple other teams. Me and you split time with Champion. Was there any other team that you were just excited to call in basketball, and you're more excited to call in baseball or softball?
Hmm, that's a good question. I was interested in calling maybe. I did call a little champion.
Yeah.
Maybe Newton Falls a little bit. They had a decent basketball program, but baseball. I'm interested to see how well Ursuline can do in baseball. I hear they have a heck of a baseball program down there, and if I can get a couple games out there, it will be exciting to see what kind of a talent they boast just year in and year out. I believe they won a couple state championships, if I'm correct,
Yes.
back in the heyday. But yeah, Ursuline is definitely a team I'm looking out for, and just the sports all around. Really interested in their programs, and I think another school I'll be interested in. I would say Girard, maybe.
Gerard
Yeah.
baseball always doesn't disappoint. I'm gonna try and get the Gerard coach on here very soon, and I actually think I got the Ursuline coach Kemp lined up for this Wednesday, so that should be a treat for then. And I also got the Brookfield softball coach coming in as well. And Brookfield, I don't know if you called Brookfield. You're kind of in that same area as I am, but
Mhm.
I mean they lost in the district championship last year, and I they're going to try and get back on that track this year. And the boys, I should be having their coach on here soon. Hopefully they can pick up uh, a lot better from what they were last year. But moving on here, baseball is, it's a different lifestyle than basketball. You're outside, you got, all of our equipment, generator, hotspot, stuff like that. What are you going to do to prepare to kind of those outside conditions that we kind of went away from football, and football, we're at least in a press box. Baseball, we're stuck out in an outfield, and sometimes it's going to rain. It's snowing here already. We're 2 weeks
Mhm.
out. So how are you gonna like prepare for the weather part? I always like to hear this.
Well, at Highland, I'll usually be behind like home plate. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
also depends on the conditions at Highland Park at the time. So I'm gonna have to probably pay a close eye on the weather. I'll usually bring my own chair. Usually bring my own water bottles just to stay
Yeah.
hydrated
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
sun, especially with the weather warming up a little bit. But that's the way I prepare. Just really set up my own station, set up my own hotspot, my own box, my own power box that they
Mhm.
provided me,
Yep.
and just
Yep.
just get the good angle from like home plate because I believe people really like to see our action from home plate.
Yes, and I've taken that angle a couple times. I've went out into the outfield as well. You have that big fence behind home plate that sometimes gets in the way, and some people put a huge banner up behind home plate so you can't get through that. But the one thing I'm gonna try and get a tent to put up, like one of those pulled up tents,
Mhm.
because I mean they don't say it for no reason. I mean, April showers bring May flowers. It rains in April. It's that season. I remember last year I was sitting out in the stands in Badger, and it just started pouring, and I had
Mhm.
umbrellas held up by both hands, and it was just a horrible experience. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, I think when I was at Girard last year, apparently it was like pouring down rain. Like the field was too
Yeah.
bad to play, so they just decided to call the game. And
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was an interesting experience driving all the way there and not even having to call the game.
And sometimes they don't call the game. It sprinkles, but one little drop of water on our equipment, and it's not too good. But it teaches you like what you go through, at least like what to prepare for next time and stuff like that. If things don't go your way this time. But next question here for you. Oh, what are you most looking forward to? Like, aspects of the game and stuff like that. Are you looking forward to going to Bobsine Park, or are you looking forward to? I mean, I'm looking forward to going to Bobsine Park, but like, are you looking forward to the summer games as well? Because those
Hmm.
aren't too far away as well. I haven't done a lot of those. I'm gonna try and pick up and do more of those this year.
Yep.
But anything else that you're like, hey, like I can't wait to get to this.
Yeah, I think you made a great point about Bob Scene. Called like I believe like 80 games last year for summer league down at Bob Scene Park. Yeah, it was a little demanding at times, but I feel like the experience I got to envision just uh, kind of getting that kind of atmosphere out
Mhm.
in Struthers. How they really put their heart and soul into those kind of a summer league games
Yeah,
and the kind of like a youth 14 through 18. It's
yeah,
just a really kind of like kind of gives you like a good maybe semi-pro experience if you
It
think.
does. And you're out there, you'll be calling games all day. I mean, I've never done it all day. I've done games though they run all day. I've done games at 7 and then like 10 or 11 at night. And so it can happen that way sometimes, and if I'm free all day like this summer, it's gonna be different this summer. So
Mhm,
I'll go out there from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. I'll call all day. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Sometimes it becomes demanding, but I
mhm.
mean, hey, that's the business, and
Yeah.
this is the perfect opportunity to learn about that. You guys know about that, you know. Wherever you got to go, you got to do it. So, I mean,
Yes.
you're in Orlando, Florida right now. I
Yeah.
mean, Orlando, Florida is a nice destination, but if you guys got the call to go to, to like Colorado or Denver or like South Dakota, like you guys wouldn't deny that either. Like if that's where the NCAA tournament is, I know one is in Denver, so I mean, you just guys got the lucky pick and got to go to Orlando. But wherever you go, wherever they offer you, you just got to
Mhm.
take it. And
Yeah.
that's what it's like in the summertime. So
Yeah, we just got the lucky pick, and just I believe last year there was one day where I called like baseball games from like 9:30 in the morning to like
yeah,
11:30 at night. So it's kind of like
yeah,
you're talking about a 14-hour day that I work with, calling like four games, and
yeah.
considering the nature of the game, how long they can go, determining what kind of pitches they'll throw at you, and also what kind of a timeouts the coaches will take. It just depends on how long can you keep your voice up for those 14
Oh,
hours.
geez. My voice. I mean, I've called back to back games before, just two games in one night. I mean, the next day, my voice is already faltered. So I remember I did a stretch where I called, I think, like six or seven games in a week or so, a doubleheader on Saturday to finish it. And this is the week before I had strep throat. So my voice was already kind of going out. So it's just something you got to get used to and prepare for it. Like it will definitely prepare your voice for
Hmm.
doing it as well. Now another thing is, like, the main two things that you need, especially for these summer league games, are the generator and your hotspot. Now, that's the thing. How are you going to keep those charged and stuff like that? Because there's not a lot of outlets out there to keep things charged. So that's another thing you got to be prepared for. Maybe bring an extra hotspot or something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I got those. Got that generator.
yeah,
I like charge it up to 100% at home
yeah,
before
yeah,
I go out to the ballpark, but it usually lasts long enough. Just
yeah,
determines what kind of setting you use. Probably like the lowest kind of setting,
yeah.
but just needs to get powered up well enough for us to call like a 2 hour, maybe 3 hour baseball game. With that,
Yeah. Yeah, and then, when the game's over, you just shut it off immediately,
yes.
and the same with the hotspot. But I mean, it's a fun experience. It teaches you, more and more about the game of baseball, and it's it gives you a chance to check out the young players coming up. Like you never know who you're gonna call, who you're gonna see. I've talked to people who like at the Scrappers when we were working with the Scrappers, and scouts would come to the game and I would talk to them a little bit after the game. And, one guy was saying he was scouting a, 13-year-old Bryce Harper. So you don't know. You don't know who you're
Hmm.
going to see. It doesn't matter what state you're in, and it's a great opportunity to see some baseball. And there's nothing better than summer baseball, in my opinion.
Oh
You know,
yeah, it's a small world. You never know who you're going to run into, and just that one connection could be able to help you just like move up in the ranks. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
met some people down at Scene Park last year, and I'll probably see some more
oh
probably
yeah,
this summer. It also determines on my just working around my demanding work schedule, but
yeah.
nevertheless, it's just about getting that good feel, getting that good relationship with that one person that can really help bring you up.
Yes, most definitely. And looks like we're gonna go a little bit longer here. You still good, Ricks?
Yes, I'm still good.
All right, sweet, sweet. Well, if we need to, we'll take a break here soon. But let's talk about YSU here. They just, I was talking about them a little bit ago. Like I mean, YSU is part of our.
Hmm.
We can talk about them. They're local enough. But I mean, they're in the NIT round one. They get to face Oklahoma State, the number one seed,
Yeah.
and they got the lucky draw that it's going to come to the Beagley Center. So that house is going to be packed like you guys wouldn't believe. And but you guys doing that stuff like got you this opportunity, right?
Yes. Apparently, so my buddy and I were working at the Hula Bowl, the college football all star game
Yeah,
down here in Orlando back in January. And
yeah,
we just got the right kind of contact. This one person helped us get this connection for the NCAA tournament, the first two rounds. So
yep,
we just contacted that one guy, and then the rest is history. They gave us a schedule, and it was kind of a long. It was kind of like a long wait list, but
yeah.
we got it done, and we're getting our orientation today.
That's just exciting right there. And I know your other buddy, I've known him for a while. You know, you guys take this camera work very seriously. You guys do YSU football, you do basketball games. So you're around that environment a lot. And I really think that that prepares you guys for the next level. Like you guys are just moving up and up. And you know, this right here is the next stage right now. Like we were just talking a few minutes ago about, hey, you know, you just gotta keep power. You just gotta keep powering through this. Like sometimes it's frustrating. You just want to quit and leave right away, but you just gotta stick with it, and stuff like this will happen. So you know, proud of you guys for moving up
Mhm.
like this, and it's you know it's working out great for you. And one of those one of those things is YSN. YSN's always
Yeah.
there. You've been working for YSN. You know that has given you like your you know your broadcasting type of skills, and then you know you do the video as well, so you're you know you're kind of that dual guy. You can do anything, and you know companies will see that.
Hmm.
So I mean, YSN, you know, will always be here. I feel like for a long time, I'm grateful for that. You know, I'm doing this show, doing games as well, doing an all-star game tonight. You got the NAC all-star game tonight in Badger. I got the girls and the boys, so that'll be something too. You get to call fun all-star games like this, and we have our own all-star game. So opportunities just continue to open, and it's just nice. But now here's a question for you. What's one thing you like from the broadcasting side with the mic on? All right. And what's one thing you like from the camera side?
Well, I would say from the broadcasting side, I like how I can create my own picture, what's going out on the field, and just going in the eloquent, just good description of how the game is going on. I believe that is what will draw people in. Now, from the camera side, I like the fact that you can just really like create that good picture of the game going on. What kind of zoom ins you can take in, what kind of surroundings that you can get, what kind of interests you that can help you get the broadcast up and going. So
Mhm.
I believe it kind of coincides with one another. Broadcasting, you just give the description, and basically camera, you just create the whole picture on the floor.
Yes, yes, most definitely. Now, like, what's one thing that kind of frustrates you from both sides? I'm not gonna say dislike because like you can't dislike anything in this business, but I'm gonna say frustrates a little.
I would say frustrate. It's just I would say just the kind of demanding schedules. Just
Yeah,
really have to set up equipment, but I'm kind of used to it at this point. Just basically, it's kind of like second nature to me.
yeah.
But setting up equipment in a short amount of time, and also just having to work with like technical difficulties. I had some technical difficulties throughout this past basketball season that kind of frustrated me a little bit, but we got those situations all worked out, and it's going to happen sometimes in this business. You're going to have technical difficulties, and but if you have the right people that can help you, like Brian,
Yep.
our equipment manager, he'll
Oh yeah.
we'll be in business.
Yes, and we've always been in business. And you know, Ricks, I'm gonna let you get on your way here. I'm gonna take a couple breaks, but I want to thank you for coming on here with me. I'm gonna get you back on, you know, into your little vacation.
Hmm.
It's work, but it's vacation to me. It's Florida, so I
Yes.
mean that this you wake up every morning and you're going to work, but you're in Florida, so it's fine.
Yeah. You
So
see.
I mean, it makes things a lot better than waking up to snow outside.
Yeah.
So, I
Good
mean,
weather down here in Florida.
yeah, absolutely. But hey, thanks for coming on here, Noah. And we'll bring you on here again further down the line, we'll talk more baseball when you call more Howland games, and we'll get your takes on it. And I'll try and get the Howland coaches on here as well. But thank you for coming on here, Noah. Have a good day, all right?
Appreciate it, Matt. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks.
But once again, I want to thank Noah Ricks for coming on here. We should be getting my other guests on here very soon, about 8 minutes or so. But in the meantime, we're going to take a little short break here, but we'll be right back here after these short messages.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Oh, welcome back here. We should be getting my other guest on here very soon. I'll give him a little introduction. His name's Jack Gill. He plays for Mineral Ridge Baseball, and he's also my girlfriend's cousin. So, gonna give him, gonna give him the royal treatment. We're gonna ask him some pretty good questions. I've been, been around him for, almost a year now. And, I feel like he's comfortable enough to come on here and talk to me, but he's not really the shyest of kids, but, it should be good, and we just had the Mineral Ridge coach on Friday, and, it was a, pretty good interview. I really look forward to, maybe doing some Mineral Ridge games this year. They look like they got a nice young team coming up, bunch of fast guys on their team, and a couple, sophomores like Jack coming up that, can really, contribute to the baseball field, per se. So, but until he gets on here, we're gonna do a little top 10 of teams that I think should be pretty good here on the baseball field. I will do softball this Wednesday as soon as I get that out. But I mean, my top 10 teams I'm definitely looking out for. This is not in order. This is teams that I think can be a lot better than they were last year. I mean, definitely Badger, definitely Mineral Ridge. There's two there. I really can't wait to see what Canfield does. Because they lost a lot of guys. Hopefully they can fill that void. So, and then number 4, definitely Salem baseball. Salem baseball is definitely always something to pay attention to. And then, definitely at number 5, I really like this, the Louisville team as well. Louisville, we'll see what they can do. I like their program. I've scouted them out a little bit. Definitely Ursuline. Ursuline, definitely a top-notch type of team that I've paid attention to a lot. We're going to have the Ursuline coach here hopefully on Wednesday, so we'll talk a little bit more about Ursuline. But Ursuline, definitely a high-power team through and through. So it's going to be sweet to look at them. Another team, it's kind of flying in under the radar, I feel. They've lost some kids, Cole Littman last year, and that team is Cardinal Mooney. Cardinal Mooney, I've called them a couple of times over the past years, and they've had a lot of great products. So I like to keep it out for them. And then, definitely other great teams throughout the area as well, and including, teams like, like I said, Canfield, all those other teams. Liberty, I like to see what Liberty can do this year, and as well as, other teams, Brookfield. Can't wait to see what Brookfield can do. And I like to see what those teams up in the Ashtabula area can do. Those 4-4-0 goal guys do a great job. So we'll get a good broadcast from up there now this year. So I can't wait to see what those teams do. Like teams like PV and Jefferson. So hopefully we'll have some good teams there. But let's go ahead and bring on Jack here. Jack, how we doing? Thanks for coming on here with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Ever since I learned that you played baseball, I'm like, oh, we got to bring him on sooner or later. And, today just happened to be that day. So how we doing today? You don't have school today. So
nope. Doing good.
That's to be good. You get to stay inside when it's snowing out today. It's horrible. But let's go ahead and jump right on into these questions. I've heard some things, because I'm close to your family and stuff like that. So I know you injured your thumb last year.
Yeah.
So how's that been going? Because I know you didn't play a lot last year. You had to get surgery. How did that affect the whole last year?
Yeah, it really put stuff into perspective. Even though it was a setback, it just made me want to work harder this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, even when I was hurt, I just tried to do as much as I could for the team.
Yes, did you still go up to support them in games, stuff like that?
Every practice, every game.
So
sometimes I was even calling pitches.
So there you go. So you still kept involved, you still kept around it. And I really feel that's a great thing to have. You're like, hey, I'm not playing, but I'm still going to be here. You still get the baseball vibe.
Still learned a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You still learn a lot from it. And, that's constantly things that you want to keep doing. You just want to keep learning,
Yeah.
So now, because of your season being shortened, how'd you keep yourself conditioned? I know you just said you were around it still, but how'd you keep yourself conditioned just to keep things rolling?
As soon as I got a little bit healed and my cast came off, I really just started with little stuff, like playing catch in the backyard.
Uh-huh.
And then once I got more back up into it, started going to the weight room, just doing a lot more stuff, actually practicing, stuff like that.
Now, who were we playing catch with here? Your dad or your brother?
Little brother.
Your little brother, Andrew. We'll get to him in just a second. You know what I'm talking about. Oh boy, what an incident that was that I heard about. But moving on here. A lot of injuries that you had. Are you feeling normal again? Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
feeling back? Like you're not worried about it at all? Like I know you injured your arm, you injured your thumb. You're not worried about injuries, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Don't think about it because
Oh, I'm not.
you'll jinx yourself. So, what's it like coming back and finally getting that fresh start? Like I feel you have, and you're only a sophomore, so
Yeah.
what's that like? Like coming in, like, hey, like this is behind me. I just want to get my fresh start. What's that feel like? You know, it's kind of like a clean slate, right?
Yeah, it feels good. Just trying to prove myself to everyone that I should, just because I missed out last year, I'm still going to be good and just not let the injuries hold me back.
Yes, and that's something that I've came along here. I'm not necessarily playing sports, but injuries can really put a strain on people, and I think you've done that. You've came out of it pretty well. So I'm excited to see you play this year to see how you do. But where is it? Let's talk about your younger brother. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was an incident this past year where he was taking some practice swings and something happened. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell that whole story? Kill some time here.
Saturday morning, a little batting practice.
Uh-huh.
He's just taking hacks, middle of the open, not even on a tee. I'm standing right behind him.
Uh-huh.
He just takes a hack, swinging, full swing, right behind him, clocks me right in the arm.
And what happens?
Oh, I go to the ground, scream at him a little.
Yeah, a little. There's some retaliation in there.
Yeah.
And what was it like though for your brother to do that and not anybody else?
I mean, I think it's pretty crazy.
Like
the chances are pretty low of that happening.
Yeah, pretty low.
Because it was him, it made me a little bit more mad than I probably would have been.
Yeah, you're gonna get it later. Wait till we get home. Like if it was your buddy, like I know you're good friends with Trey, and Coach had a lot of good things to say about Trey and even you on Friday. Like he's excited about you guys, including Gavin Fox, I believe I heard, and Tristan Valley. So you guys got a good group of teams with you. But like if it was one of them, you'd be like, all right, it's all right. But you automatically think because it was your brother, like he was just up to something, right?
Yeah, he was out for me.
He was just always out for you. He's like, he hurt his thumb last year. Let's get another injury on here. Yeah. But you're out of the cast. I know it broke, right?
Yeah.
So you were in the cast. Luckily, it was really early in the season. Yeah. But how is that arm feeling?
It healed really fast. Got full movement. It's nice.
I remember seeing you like a week after it happened. And you weren't even in the cast, so you were moving it pretty good. It seemed like it wasn't. So it wasn't that bad of a break, right?
It was just a little tiny crack.
So that's good. But other than that, what's it been like having your younger brother Andrew on the team with you?
Oh, we're really competitive. I always try to do better than him, so it puts a little bit of pressure on me. So trying to one up him on everything he does, and he tries to do the same.
Yeah, because he's your younger brother, and he's gonna try. And you guys are only about a year and a half apart, but it still plays in. Like I'm older, like this is my show. You ain't taking my steam or anything like that. And I feel like since he's younger, I know Andrew, so he's gonna try and be like, yo, I'm gonna get you. I'm younger, I'm better, stuff like that. And but other than that, have you kind of played that mentor type of role with them? Like, hey, do this, and like, have you given them pointers at all, or is it just all competitiveness? Like,
to be honest, I kind of treat him like a jerk. Like, when we're at practice and we're getting stuff out, I make him do everything. I'm like, go do this, go do that, go grab this.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Is he there now?
He should be.
Jeez,
he's somewhere.
All right, well, don't bring him on here. He'll steal your steam. This is your show. But how would you what would it be like if, like, say Andrew was the older brother and you were younger? Do you feel like he would be doing the same thing?
Oh yeah, but he would.
So, like, he's not. I know you guys both very well. You guys aren't shy at all. You'll go back and forth all the time. You guys always do. I see you
Yeah.
every time. You guys are over here or I'm over at your house. It's always back and forth. So, that do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing that the competitiveness
I
stays
think
alive?
it's a good thing. It really keeps us like trying to work harder.
Yeah, yeah. So let's jump into your next question here. What do you feel like, your role will be like on this team this year? I remember yesterday I talked to you a little bit. You feel like you'd be floating around positions a lot. How do you feel how do you feel that's going to be?
Yeah, so we did lose 6 starting seniors last year.
Yes. Yes.
So that was a bit. So I'm really trying to just be a leader, someone the younger guys could look up to, like a role model.
Hmm. Well, now saying that, what do you think you'll do to be that role model?
Just always be working hard.
Uh-huh. Do you maybe like take a couple of the younger guys under your wing? And how about that? Like I'm saying younger guys, and you're only a sophomore.
Yeah.
So to get that mantle already, like, has that been a little bit of a weight on your shoulders at all?
Yeah, a little. Just trying to prove myself.
Yeah, and there's, like you said, 6 seniors leaving. You got, I mean, from what I was talking to your coach this past show, like, he really feels comfortable with you guys. He's talked good about you, and like I said, everybody else. You guys got a lot of speed on your team. He looks like he's putting all those guys out in the outfield, guys like Trey, and I think he said Gavin Fox as well. But so mostly you'll be in that infield a little bit, right? You said third base and shortstop, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel comfortable in like switching around like that?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of plays we have implemented, so it's a lot to remember, but I'm prepared.
That's good. Now, what do you say on a scale of 1 out of 10? How prepared are you? About 2 or 3 weeks out. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty good. So, next, let's go on to the next question here. Having here comes another injury question for you. But do you feel like, now I kind of got the vibe that you didn't, but do you feel like when you got the thumb injury and when you got the the arm injury, do you feel like you were a little injury prone at all?
I don't like to see myself as that, but who knows?
Nobody does. Nobody does at all. But we have guys that come in and get, I always use Zion Williamson as a perfect example. He's always hurt. He's always not playing.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're only a sophomore, and all this that happens right away, injuries. Do you think that has maybe prepared you to be like, hey, let's be a little bit more careful, or let's just keep going 100%? Like, I don't care if I get hurt. I don't care. I'm young. I'm ready.
100%.
And honestly, I think that's the way to be. Injuries happen, every which way they can. And there's nothing you can do to prepare for it. And I don't think anybody's injury prone. I didn't even write that. I mean, I didn't even come up with that question right away. I thought about it a little bit. I'm like, he's young. He's ready to play. Every time I see you, you're always energetic. You're just ready to do something. So do you think that will play a little bit of a role on the baseball field? Because I know you're just that active type of guy. You're always doing something. You're always going somewhere.
Yeah.
And how do you feel that will play in? Like, do you feel like it'll be added on a little bit from what you do outside of the field? Or is it just even?
It's even.
That's pretty good. I feel that. Now, I know you guys come from a huge family.
Oh yeah.
So what's the support system like?
Oh, I have a great support system. My family really got me into the game when I was younger, and they always supported me, encouraged me. And my coaches, whether it's baseball, they're always there for me, supporting me.
So who do you feel like your biggest supporter would be, non-family wise and family wise?
Oh, definitely my dad, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I've been around him. He's sports all around. look what he did in high school. I heard some stuff about him. Do you kind of like? I know he was more of a basketball type of guy than baseball, but do you still look up to that? Like, hey, look what my dad did. I want to do this as well, but on the baseball field.
Yeah.
So do you want to go into that a little bit more?
Yeah.
Like do you got a list of things you want to do, or are you just prepared to do everything that comes your way?
Well, he didn't really, when he did play baseball, he didn't start his freshman year on varsity. He played JV. So I always give him stuff for that.
That's something to always get him at. So, how do you feel like, like him always being there, like I know your dad, like he's got your back, most definitely. He's got Andrew's back as well. How does that feel like, going up like, hey, I'm not going to get ridiculed, maybe a little bit, but I'm not going to get ridiculed too bad. He'll be there. He'll support. What's that like? Like anything can happen and, my dad's got my back,
Yeah, it feels good. But if I do something wrong, he usually
you're going to hear it.
Yeah,
but,
I'm going to hear it. And he's going to try to help me. So
yeah,
it's always nice.
Now, how about somebody on the team or anybody else that that's not a family member? Like, is it your coaches? Is it another player? Even like a faculty member of any sort?
Definitely my coach. My coaches. They're always trying to help and support.
So, like, what? So you guys got like your head coach and your assistant coach. I talked about it. I remember him talking about his coaching staff a little bit. Is it all the coaches at once, or is it just like your head coach, or they're just all around?
Definitely more my head coach, but all of them do help. Like we go to the gym a lot. Just try to work.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the way you gotta be. It's mostly going to come through the head coach. I mean, he's a head coach he's not the head coach for nothing. He's got that mantle. He's going to be there. He's going to guide all of you guys. And, how do you feel like that coming from him? Like, he's going to help everybody out, but for him to take time for specific people, then it seems like he does that for everybody. How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel more comfortable about that?
Yeah, it makes you feel way better about yourself knowing you have a coach that actually cares.
Yeah.
And that actually coaches. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and I definitely got that from him when I was talking to him the other day, and it's just like, he's had a few surprises from you guys, and what are you guys gonna do? What are you and your group of men gonna do just to keep those surprises going? Like, just to keep, like, I always hear the coach has to keep the players on their feet, on their toes, moving. What are you guys going to do to keep him on his feet, like keep him going? I always like to ask that.
We always just try to, honestly, that man's always on his feet. He's always ready.
I kind of got that a little bit. Like he just seems like he's always going. But so now we talked about the younger team. You guys don't have a lot of seniors on your team. Like you said, you lost 6 of them last year. Now the guys you are with, either they're one class above you or below you. So you've been with them pretty much your whole baseball career. I know you've been playing, like what you said, since 9. So what's that been like having the same guys with you like your whole career?
Oh yeah, we've built up a lot of chemistry together. I have lots of fun playing with them. They're like, out of baseball, they're my best friends. So no more.
So yeah, and I've seen you guys before. It seems like you baseball guys always seem to stay together. Like, you're always here, you're always there together. And what does that mean to you? Like, hey, we got this off-field type of bond, and does that translate at all onto the field?
100%.
Like, the trust is there, right?
Yeah, the trust is 100% there. We play really good together, especially because we just know each other so well.
And, that's the number one thing I feel like teams need to have. They have to have that trust. If you don't trust your teammates, you don't trust your team, there is no trust, period. Yeah. Like and it's going to translate onto the field. And you guys had a pretty good year last year. I think 13, 14 wins, only maybe 5 losses. I think I saw.
We had a lot of wins. I think we only had 4 or 5 losses and maybe 18 wins or something like that.
So, but that was with that senior team. 6 seniors. what are you guys going to try and do, this younger team? But you've been with those older guys, and you've kind of been taught by those older guys and your coaches how to prepare for the next level, the next step, which is each year going on. What are you guys going to try to do to kind of mirror that a little bit?
So last year we really relied on our pitchers, Mark Bunch and Peyton. They really dominated on the mound. So this year we're just really trying to get the ball in play, bunts, obviously, and stuff like that, because just let the other team make mistakes and we'll play off that.
I remember your coach talking about the pitching group. They're a lot younger. Like you said, you lost 2 of your great guys last year. But he's got a lot of, do you feel like you guys in the outfield and you guys in the infield will kind of support those guys a little bit? Like,
oh yeah,
he's got the speedy guys out there who can cover a lot of ground real quick. I've seen Trey run on the basketball court. I know he can take off. So, but I know your outfield's pretty solid as well. So, do you feel like your pitchers will be a little bit more comfortable with the backup help?
Oh yeah, it's definitely the main goal is pitching. Just trust your guys behind you. Let them put the ball in play.
So, I mean, these guys coming up here, they don't have to strike everybody out. Get the ground balls. Guys like you, third base and shortstop, are going to be there to get it. And if you got a couple balls hitting the outfield, you're going to have your outfield guys out there. So do you feel like, your pitchers have been a little nervous at all, or do you feel like they're ready to go because they're backed up?
I definitely feel backed up. Like, I just try to throw strikes. Let them put the ball in play. Just whatever happens, happens.
Now, going off from that, we talked about your trust. We talked about your pitchers and your outfield. What do you feel like as a team your goals are?
Definitely just to improve as the season goes on. No matter the results of the game, just keep playing, keep trying your hardest.
So now you still got 2 years left. Basically 3 because you haven't even started your sophomore season. Where do you feel you'll be at when you're on that senior stage?
Hopefully, a really good pitcher, really good batter, just a good player all around.
Do you feel are you going to start pitching as well now? Am I hearing here?
Yeah, I'm a pitcher.
Okay. Do you feel like maybe the thumb or the arm has played an effect at that, or has it made it better?
Well, when I first got out of it, my thumb, I could barely move it.
Yeah.
And so I just tried, like I said, as soon as I got out of the cash, was throwing a baseball with my brother in the backyard.
And it just kept building up from that. So that's just the way to be. I definitely see the no fear, and you're just going to go out, you're going to have a fun time. You're just going to keep going at it. Yeah. So with that being said, one final question for you, and we'll get you off here. What's the one thing that you're looking forward this year? I know we talked about all the trust and all that, but what's the one thing that you're looking forward to?
Definitely just trying to win baseball games.
That seems pretty, a basic answer to, a lot of people, but for a player to say we just want to win games, it means a lot. And I mean, especially from what you went through, the injuries are there, that you put them behind you, definitely. And you just want to go out and win games. I like that answer. That's one of the best answers you'll get. We just want to play. You're not worried about how many steals you get, how many infield balls I get, how many people I pick off, how many home runs I get. You just want to win games. And that's the most unselfish answer that you can say. And it's just amazing to do that. So, but I want to thank you again for coming on. You kind of bailed me out here a little bit. I was running out of options. I'm like, hey, I'm going to get Jack on here. It's about time he came on here. We'll try and get you on here again as the season goes on, and a couple of your other players as well. Maybe we'll get a couple of you guys on here at the same time. But I want to thank you again for coming on here, Jack. We'll see you later. All right.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Have a good day. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But I want to thank Jack for coming on here, as well as Noah as well. It's been a good show today, I feel, and I can't wait till Wednesday. We're gonna have some more guests on here with me, and then Friday should be a special show. I'm not going to reveal anything. I got to work that out a little bit more, but it should be fun this Friday. Then we're going to be right into the midst of March Madness, so that's going to be very interesting coming up this week. I have to maybe talk about a couple March Madness teams. It's just an awesome experience to watch March Madness. And, we just kind of had that with high school basketball as well. Like that's our March Madness. And, even though it's most of February, it's definitely madness. So, but I want to thank everybody coming on here and watching today. And we'll see you all Wednesday with another episode of Talk More. And I hope everybody has a good day as well. But we'll see you all later, everybody.